Hello and welcome. This video we're going to get you started with one of the basic development tools with AWS Academy. That is their Cloud9 integrated development environment. For my beginning classes, this will be primarily the main service that we use. So a quick recap: in a previous video, we got you linked to your AWS Academy course, and that course could have been a learner lab, which is what I use. And so if you would start that process again by logging in, going to your dashboard, selecting your course, and heading on over to your modules, select again the AWS link, and that link will take you directly to the Management Console. So this is where we left off on the previous video. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend you do that first. That video is simply how to gain access to the Learner Lab. This one is probably a one-time only, unless it gets accidentally deleted and we need to redo it again. But this is not a daily occurrence. We're going to do this only once. So from the Management Console, you want to select right next to the logo, to the right of that, select the grid of services, pull that down, and on the left-hand menu, choose Developer Tools. And the first developer tool that comes up is the one that we want. It is the Cloud IDE, Integrated Development Environment. And that is a software program or work environment for writing, running, debugging, and developing code or software. So let's select Cloud9. And your screen should be a welcome screen to Cloud9 with a little background, and then in the middle you should see it's like a landing page, and you want to select Create Environment. And once you select that Create Environment, my previous page was different because I've already have one set up. We want to give it a unique name, so I'm going to just use CS Foundations. That is the name of the course. The beginning courses for my students, not related to the AWS Academy Foundations, just coincidentally the same name. And then you could write down here a brief description of the environment name itself. Okay, so we've got a name, a little description, hit next step, and now this is where you can go shopping for what's called an EC2 instance. So let's take a walk back of what an EC2 instance is. And here I have the Wikipedia page for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. So that's what EC2 means, Elastic Compute Cloud. And basically, this is part of the cloud computing platform with AWS that allows us to rent virtual computers on which to run our own computer applications. So EC2, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, we will learn a little bit more about that in advanced courses, but for now just know that that's how we are accessing the software Cloud9. Now, for the most part, or definitely, we are going to maintain the default selections here, but I just want to point out a few of the items here. We're sticking with an EC2 instance, direct access. The type of instance, this is where you could literally select other and select massive computer power. And you may need this if you're running huge simulations. And then once you're done with it, you could close it out and the renting process is done. We are going to keep this, is all we need for this service is the recommended T2 micro, and it tells you how much random access memory, immediate memory, and CPU power we're having. The platform that we're going to use is Amazon Linux 2. That's the recommended. We're keeping that. And basically that is the language that we are going to use, the operating system that we will use on the computer to write direct commands to that computer without a user interface. That's called the command line. Finally, I think the cost saving setting, keep this at 30 minutes of downtime, and this will automatically stop the Cloud9 from running. So let's hit next step. Finally, it basically just gives us a review of the settings to confirm that's what we want, and then pay close attention to the information down below. They're all extremely important. We will hit on, in our next videos right away, the first bullet. Use source control and backup your environment frequently. AWS does not perform automatic backups. Basically what they're saying is it's your responsibility. This is your asset. This is your development software. Make sure you are maintaining backups. And we were going to use the Git language, the version control language of Git, and GitHub to manage that process. We will set that up in the next videos. It's not to say that when you open up Cloud9, your work is still there. It is, for the most part, but this again is just being safe, being secure, making sure you have backups on your own. AWS is not responsible. Let's hit create environment. And this is going to take a little while to run, so I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back when this is up and running. So just patiently let this do its work. Okay, we should be back, and thank you for your patience with that. That will pick up a little faster as we use this more often. Again, this was the initial setting up of your Cloud9 software on your EC2 instance. That stays there for the year, so this is a one-time process, unless, like I said, by some accident it gets deleted, and we'll go back and repeat the process. This is a development environment, and what it means by environment is there are many things happening at once here. Okay, it's a work environment where on the left-hand side you have your folder structure. And again, software is a series or packages of files with extension names that indicate the type of program that you're using. We have folders for organization, and that is where we maintain all of that on the left-hand side. In the middle here, I highly recommend you go through a little bit of the welcome to development environment here. Read a little bit about this, getting started. Documentation here is great. And you could also configure your Cloud9 to your own specific settings. So in this section, if I hit the plus bar here, this is where we will have new files set up and where we actually will write our software. And we could have a number of different files here set up, and the package of our software development could come together here. So this is the editor down below here. If I pull this up, I'm pulling up what's called the terminal, and the terminal is going to give us direct access to that computer. Notice the name of the terminal. You'll hear me say this. The root directory folder of the terminal is called environment. If we pull over the folder structure, you'll see that we named our environment CS Foundation 2223, but AWS sees it as EC2 user and environment based on my username. So root folder will be named environment, and we will add folders or projects to that. So as you can see, you can move this around and customize it however you like. Just be careful. You don't want to move it too much until you get very comfortable with that, and we'll do that as we work together. So this is setting up your Cloud9 IDE where we will write software. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. And again, this is not a daily occurrence. This is probably only once a year, but we will continually come back to this service. We'll see you in the next one, everybody.